Like I wanted to be an MLB player until I was like in 10th grade. And then I started like doing drugs and kind of like bailed on the whole thing.
Togi is a puppet to all those people that want to see him fail. They're cheering for him to lose. They're watching the train crash as it unfolds. Coach Greg, in today's video, we're going to be going over Togi, or Shane's diet and training program, as if he has a plan. And so we're going to watch him live, talk about what he eats, and see, does he in fact do anything right? Does he do anything right? No. Chest A with the goggins of gambling, Togi.
Welcome back to Between Doucettes. Boom.
What is this, Tiger Fitness? Boom! Boom!
That's what, 200 milligrams?
Yeah. What's that?
This one has 6 shots of espresso, so it's got 500.
And so those other guys, they're amateurs. They're using regular pre-workouts. What's that, 400 milligrams of caffeine? I mean, why would you use harder than last time pre-workout when you can just drink coffee? Well, did you know there's other stims aside from caffeine that can in fact aid in your training? Did you know there's products that help you get a better pump, increase blood flow, and so on? But hey, let's just drink a 400 calorie 6-shot espresso drink with a shit ton artificial this, artificial that. And remember, I'm okay with artificial stuff, but within reason. Look what's in his drink. And remember, he hasn't had breakfast. This is his pre-workout meal. I'm not making this shit up.
What else you get mixed in that?
2 vanilla syrups, 2 simple syrups, 7 shots of sugar-free vanilla syrup, 4 shots of caramel syrup, 5 shots of stevia.
I mean, a Ventri or Tentra, whatever the thing is called. Remember, I'm mixing up with Spanish, a Tentra, trazine, the third, whatever. But I'll put 3, maybe 4 shots of sugar-free vanilla. And I like it sweet. This guy's got so much sweetness in there. I don't know how he's drinking it.
It's actually not bad. I can drink that. I like it really sweet. 5 shots is
Low-key,
crazy.
though, it's probably like 400 calories.
And so it's got 400 calories. What a waste of calories. Remember, he's meeting at the gym. Could he have not have consumed something at home? Was there no way he could get up and have meal 1? Togi, if you need me to send you a box of protein bars because you have no money whatsoever because you lost it all in gambling, I'll do you a solid. I'll send you a box of Seco protein bars if you want it. Just send me a DM. If you're that desperate for food, I'll do you a solid. People are watching my videos so much. I mean, as you all say, he's living rent-free in my head, and so why not give back? Give back to Togi. So if you want some Seco protein bars, or perhaps GO2 Max, you don't need the Turk Builder. You're already on gear. But if you want GO2 Max and Seco bars, just hit me up.
I thought you were about to say you're dumbing down your caffeine. You're like, oh, 5
I
shots.
am, bro. I used to order with 11
no
shots.
shot.
I'm not kidding.
And so he's cutting back. He used to have 11 shots of espresso at once, about 1,000 milligrams of caffeine. Now he's down to 6 shots, about 500 milligrams of caffeine. So he's doing good.
Like I used to do 1.5 grams of caffeine a day. Now I've limited myself to like 600-700 a day.
And so he was doing about 1 gram and a half of caffeine. Now he's doing 600-700 milligrams. And so good job, Togi. He went from crazy abuse to just normal abuse.
I was supposed to lock in. I thought hanging out with like all these fitness influencers was gonna be like, yeah, like I got hella protein at this party and like chicken and rice. No, not at all. No protein there.
And so he went to a fitness influencer party, thought, I'm going to lock in. These are guys going to be a great influence. Probably all protein this and protein that. There was no protein. Who knows what those fitness influencers are doing, but what it tells me is this. Y'all think these fitness influencers, all they're eating is chicken breast and protein bars. It's not true. These guys are partying harder than last time. You have no clue what normal fitness influencers are all about. You're thinking they're all eating from Coach Greg's cookbook every meal. It's not the case. If Coach Greg parties eat from my cookbook, you know you do. But other people, they ain't like us.
Bench, chest press, flies, and then yeah, lat pull downs to start to get it warm, and which will be good.
And so essentially he's going to do lat pull downs to warm up his lats in order to bench press. You don't need to do that. And so what I'd rather see is, rather than wasting your time doing lat pull downs to warm up your lats in order to do the bench press, that you just focus on the bench press. And for a warm up, I'd like to see you do cardio. And so perhaps instead of that, you start with 10 minutes of cardio. After all, aren't we trying to live longer than last time? Do we not value life on this planet? If you do your cardio, you're going to live longer. It's good for you. And so perhaps we want to undo some of the damages of partying harder than last time, sniffing creatine, abusing caffeine, and just staying up at all hours of the night. We need to do something in order to be healthy.
You're tall. What are you, 6'2"?
Yeah, I tell the bitches I'm 6'3" though. So 6'3".
He's 6'2", and yet he still needs to round up to 6'3". I got nothing for you. I'm 5'6". I'm exactly 5'6". I don't round up. I don't round down. I'm 5'6". I'm all of a 5'6" manlet. Why are these guys who are already 6'2", why do they feel the need to round up? I mean, are they not tall enough? But what it tells me is no matter how much you got, you're always going to want more. And I'm not talking about the downstairs. But if I was talking about the downstairs, I'd be telling you, you may in fact want to get harder than last time. And if so, code Greg, 15% off. Click the link in the description.
Dude, I can only bench probably 315. For being 230 pounds, that's not that much weight.
I can't do 315, so.
He's also, I do believe, natty. 315 is a decent size bench, but when you're 230 pounds, it's not all that impressive. But remember, he is 6'2", 230 pounds. And so if you don't focus on the bench press and you just do high reps all the time, you're not going to bench press as much as if you focus on bench.
But yeah, I get a ton of people in my comments talking about how they're stronger than me, and it's I get it, dude. I don't know what to tell you about it.
And so Togi's like, look, I don't care about being strong, and I'm on his side. As much as I make fun of Togi, I agree with him. You shouldn't be putting him down just because he can't lift a knot. Oh, I mog him, I'm so much stronger than him. He doesn't give a shit. He has his dream physique. He's been training with gear for 6 months, and he's got his dream physique. And so he's the one that laughs last, right? Well, I do believe that whoever lives longer, who has their dream physique for a longer period of time, they're going to laugh loud, but time will tell, we will find out. And so the first thing I notice is he's going slower on the concentric and faster on the eccentric, the exact opposite of how you're supposed to train. You're supposed to go harder on the way down and then slowly let the weight pull you back up. You are in control of the weight. The weight does not control you. But Togi, it's kind of like gambling. Gambling controls him. He doesn't control his gambling. He does the same thing with the weights. And so Togi is basically a puppet in the world. Everyone controls Togi. He has no control over himself. He thinks he does, but he's letting everything control him. He even lets Coach Greg's videos get to him.
If I woke up in the morning one day looking like Greg goddamn Doucette, I would be so pissed.
And so he simply just can't handle it. The weight's too heavy. He's supposed to be warming up. When you warm up, you use a very light weight for higher reps, but he goes to a very heavy weight from the start. He just said he's not all that strong for his weight, but yet he has 3/4 of the stack. He doesn't need that much weight. And remember, he's warming up his back for the bench press. This is not even a back workout. So far, it's a fail. This is utterly useless for his training. And so with Brody, notice how he's going 3/4 of the way up. He has the control, the weight is moving slowly, but he's not getting the stretch. And so what he's doing is he's missing the long range partials. The part at the top of the movement where you're getting the stretch. This, in fact, in research has been shown to be the most important in stimulating muscle hypertrophy. Rather than stopping here, let your arms reach out. Stretch the lat. Don't stop 3/4 of the way up and pull down. Let your body stretch forward and squeeze at the bottom. And so let the weight come down quickly and let it slowly pull you back to the top, getting a nice stretch. The long range partials at the top of the rep is where you can in fact stimulate more muscle hypertrophy. And so if he in fact wants to do these 3/4 range reps, at least at the end of the set, perhaps bang out 5 more just at the top. Not the tip, the top. 5 partial reps at the top to really fatigue that muscle. And yet again, with Luke, you can see he's not quite getting that stretch at the top. He could go into a greater range of motion. And so I do believe his form is the best of the 3, but he could in fact stretch further than last time.
I don't understand. So it's a pack of honey or what? Just pack of straight honey? Yeah. How is that going to make my boners harder? I don't get it.
And so they're not discussing harder than last time. Instead, they're discussing honey, thinking that's going to help them get harder than last time. This is literally called harder than last time, Togi. And so if you're struggling in this department, and I get it, this can happen when you're sniffing creatine and so on, it's going to make it harder than last time to get harder than last time. And so please pick up harder than last time. Code Greg 15% off. And I'll do you a solid. If you want it, Togi, we'll send it to you free. Send me a DM.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Did it have Viagra in it?
No, I don't think it has Viagra. But I actually took it just now to see if I get a better pump.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that honey doesn't have Viagra. But I'm not sure.
I'm sure it would work for the purposes of like working out, because like carbs and shit, but as far as like harder boners, I'm not sold. But you said it works?
Yeah, dude, I'm literally on one right now, so stop giving me those eyes.
These guys, they need to touch grass. Bro, that's cap. Honey is not sold, nor does it have the intention of helping people get harder than last time. It's sugar. It helps you perhaps to get a pump, but it's sugar. It's just sugar. There's nothing special about honey. It's not a pre-bedroom formula, it's honey.
I got into it hard when I was like 16, now I'm 27, so 11 years now. Shit.
Wait, how old are you?
Yeah, yo, stop. Cut that. I'm 27, bro.
How old are you?
25.
Oh, I'm too young for this. What?
And so Togi's shocked. These guys, he's been training 11 years. He started at 16. He's 27 years old. Oh my goodness, that's so much experience. I'm 48. I've been training since I was 10. Serious, hard training since I was 10. That makes 38 years. But no, let's watch Togi. Let's watch these young guys tell everyone how to train.
I don't know I'm trying to think of what age I tore my pec.
What do we have to learn? Well, he tore his pec when he was a young man. Why and how do you think? Probably ego lifting in the gym. Everyone's young and they're indestructible and they put on the heavy weights and they max out. They bounce the weights off the chest. You need to slow it down. You need to train and leave your ego at the door. And so if Togi wants to avoid tearing his pec, he's going to have to do higher reps.
Already, you did
They warned me. They're like 5 minutes he's going to talk about his pec tear.
That's it right there.
And so what can we learn from this? Well, let's try to avoid tearing a pec by pausing the weight at the bottom, not lifting overly heavy weights, and using proper lifting form. Let's just simply leave our egos at the door.
You look like you bench a lot. How much you bench?
I can bench over 3 plates. No. Me? No. I wish. I probably could if I like really practiced it and gained some weight.
And so the inevitable question, how much can you bench? 3 plates? No, I can't do 3 plates. But I could if I bulked up and I really tried for it. When somebody asks you how much you can bench, it's not how much could you bench if you took test and tren and you trained your entire life. It's how much you do right now. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I get it. You all want to have a big bench. I was the same way. I was a competitive power lifter. I have a bench press world record. Clearly I understand the value of a big bench. But girls, they don't care. I've never seen a girl that said, oh, I want to date you because you have the world record in the bench press. You're so cool because you bench press more than all those guys. They don't care. They care how you look, how you talk, your confidence, but not how much weight you put on the bar. And look who enters the chat. Eric Janicki from Harder Than Last Time. And look at this guy. He's shredded.
People are freakishly massive. I'm sure everyone tells you that, but that's awesome. Dude.
You're huge in person. I saw you walking. I was like, holy shit, that's him.
Staying on.
And so Eric Janicki, after being told he's huge in person, and he absolutely is, says, wow, Togi, you're much bigger than I thought. But the guy is 6'2". He's not natty. He's on steroids. He's been training for years. And so it's not surprising that a famous guy on YouTube is going to be a very large man. He, in fact, has stated that the reason he took steroids was so that he could get more famous. Myself and Mepstagram and Eric Janicki, we literally went to the same gym about a week ago. Imagine if I'd ran into Togi.
I count the warm-up set as a set, though.
I'm up. Good shit, man. Good stuff.
And so on his warm-up sets, what I notice is he just doesn't give a shit. He's just throwing the weights around. Those warm-up sets should be taken serious. You should be using the same lifting technique on your lightest set as you do on your hardest set. And so rather than thinking, oh, it's light, I'm just going to throw it up, I'm going to keep my head off the bench, I'm going to look around. No. Take it serious. Pretend it's your hardest set and do it effectively.
I haven't eaten yet today either, so this is what we're calling breakfast.
Remember, his pre-workout meal was in fact that Trenta, Venti, whatever it was, 6-shot espresso drink. And so what is his second meal? Well, it's a drink, a 26 gram of protein, core drink milk thing. Really?
Well, the weight on the right sliding a little bit.
And so they don't put the collars on, the weights sliding, they're lifting with floppy form. I mean, guys, can't we train for serious?
If I do those, they're gonna look like that. It hurts my shoulder looking at that, bro.
Yeah.
His fucking muscles,
Man. You know what I'm saying?
And so they're watching Eric Janicki thinking, oh, that would tear my shoulders. Look what he's doing. Eric has trained specifically for this. He uses extreme ranges of motion. He maximizes this. He's getting a deep stretch. And what did we say about the long range partials? That it builds perhaps the most muscle during the entire set. And so he's maximizing this. Rather than thinking, I'm going to go halfway down, I'm going to do partials, I'm not going to stretch. Think the opposite. Maximize the long range, the stretch. Leave your ego at the door. Use lighter weights and pause. And if you do this and you slowly progressive overload, that means to train harder than last time, you too will benefit from this training. And so it may look scary at first. Oh my God, he's stretching so far, but you will in fact get used to it. Start with light weights, a great range of motion, and just build up slowly over time.
I honestly only train for videos at this point in my life. Like, if it's not on camera, I'm not working out.
And so Togi's like, at this point, I already got my dream physique. I just train for the camera. If there was no camera on me right now, I wouldn't even train. I don't even enjoy training. If I could have this physique and never go to the gym ever again, I wouldn't show up. And so he literally doesn't even like training. He just shows up and trains because he kind of has to. Remember, if you want to train for the rest of your life, you need to love it. Togi doesn't love it. He's just doing the gym thing because he has to.
I hate streaming because every time I stream, I lose $10,000, I black out, and then I wake up the next day, and it's like, it's not even a net gain because I get donations and I get clips, but it's like, I lost all that money, so I'm just traumatized.
And so Togi, he hates streaming. He gets in there, he bets all his money, blacks out, and wakes up hungover. So why do it? If you hate it, you don't have to do it. Remember when I said earlier that Togi is not in control of his life? That he's essentially a puppet letting other people control him? Exhibit A. He hates streaming, but he does it. He wakes up, he hates it, he loses all his money. And so why is he doing it? I'll tell you why. Because other people, they're making him do it. Not forcing him to do it, but making him do it because he's getting that dopamine, the reward of seeing all those fans cheering for him. Yay, Togi, you lost $200,000. Good for you. We love seeing you suffer. And so that is what's going on. Togi is a puppet to all those people that want to see him fail. They're cheering for him to lose. They're watching the train crash as it unfolds.
I fucking crunched my shoulder like a year ago, and ever since I just like stopped benching heavy. And
Heavy when I tore my pec. So.
I respond better like to high volume anyways.
And so Togi, who's 22 right now, crunched his shoulder a year ago. I believe that means he injured it. And so since that time, he had a wake-up call and said, this ain't it. Why am I trying to max out? And so now he does sets of 20. And so I do in fact think that that is something good from Togi. We can learn from him. If you don't want to get injured, don't lift so heavy. There's no real benefit to maxing out. Why are you doing it? For your ego. Leave the ego at the door and use lighter weights and control it. And for most people, if you're not a competitive powerlifter or strongman, it's more impressive how you look than how much you can lift. Unless you're competing, does it really matter how much you can bench press? And so rather than doing 3 plates for 1 or 2 reps, why not lighten it to 185 and get 20?
Because everyone told me, it's like, train heavy, lift heavy, that's how you're gonna get big. And then I talked to Niall, and he's like, bro, like, you just need to do high volume, like, that's the problem. And I've tried it, and it's been great for me.
And so Togi was told to get big, you need to train very heavy and low reps. It's not true. You can get just as much growth from doing sets of 20 as you can from doing 1. I'd argue even more, because how much are you growing when you're injured? And so lighter weights with control, you're going to be able to train longer, harder, you're getting greater time under tension, greater stretch, for example, leaving your ego at the door. And so why not go with this?
When they ask what the secret to the pump is, it's that honey pack. You really want to take it?
Let me run this. Honey, Viagra, Tren. Yeah, this is what I need.
And so Togi's like, this is just straight up honey. It's like, there's no trend, there's no Viagra, nothing in this, just honey. What's the point?
You just like being big, like, but you don't like the gym. Like, do you like lifting?
And so Togi gets asked, do you like being big? Do you like the gym? Could you explain this to us? And listen to his response. It hurts to hear this.
I mean, sorry. I think, like, no, if I could be jacked and not work out, I would. But, like, you have to work out, you know? I used to like working out a lot, but now I'm just too busy to, like, work out 7 days a week. Like, it used to be, like, I think when I was bored and I didn't have much going on for myself, I don't know, I wasn't making any money, wasn't doing anything. So it was just, like, kind of, the gym was a great way to, like, set discipline in my mind and, like, have a goal, even though bigger muscles doesn't translate to more money always or whatever. It's nice to have a goal, like bigger muscles every day. That's what I'm working towards. But now I have other stuff going on and just like, I'm big enough. I have my dream physique right now, other than my raging gyno, which I will get cut out eventually, but the gyno? Yeah. No, honestly, well, yeah. I mean, it's pretty annoying. Like, you can even see it through the shirt.
And so he's essentially saying, I don't like working out anymore. I've already got my dream physique, aside from for this horrendous gyno, of which I now have high blood pressure, and I have to take all these medications, which are ruining my health, in order to prevent the gyno from getting worse. So he knows this. Why doesn't he perhaps spend some of that money from selling clothes and get the gyno surgery right now? Why keep abusing your body? Remember the puppet thing I've been talking about? It's because he's a puppet. People are controlling him. He does everything for money, for glory, for fame. He does nothing that he personally wants to do. Everyone is controlling him. So he may think he's in charge of his life, but he's succumbing to all of life's temptations. One of the measures of a man is your ability to say no. It's very hard sometimes, especially when you're famous, when you're 6'2" and you have the dream physique. Perhaps everyone is pointing you in a certain direction, but it takes a real man, somebody who's very masculine, to say no to all those temptations.
When everyone hops on gear, the first thing you think is like, oh, I don't want acne, I don't want gyno, I don't want this, I don't want that. But really, like, I want my heart to not explode.
Remember, I know these things. I know what people are like. They're more worried about gyno, losing their hair, and acne than they are about their hearts. Heart could kill you. Losing your hair, having some acne is not going to kill you. But people, they worry more about the cosmetics than do about living longer than last time. And so Togi, he knows this. But yet, he's still doing it.
Like, I can get gyno, I can lose my hair, that's cool. The cosmetic stuff is whatever. I just don't want to fucking die.
And so if he didn't want to die, especially after going over his blood work, would he not have stopped what he's doing? Or at least gone on HRT?
Come on.
And so he loads up the bar, 225 pounds, whatever happened to 20 reps, and gets 5. His goal was 6. What am I supposed to say to this? He himself said he's doing sets of 20. And so remember the puppet thing? Oh, we're recording a video. We need to put 2 plates. And so rather than doing 185 for 20, let's go and put 225 for 5 or 6 reps. Again, he's a puppet. A real masculine man would say, I'm lifting 135. You guys can put 2 plates, 3 plates. I don't care. I don't care how much stronger you are than me. I'm going to lift with proper control. I'm going to go slower on the way down, fast on the way up. I'm going to go slow on the way down, pause, get a nice stretch deep at the bottom, the way Eric Janicki would do it, and I'm going to press it up to the top. I'm going to use full range of motion. I'm going to increase the time under tension. I might only get 135 pounds for 20 reps, but I'm going to go hard. Leave my ego at the door and really push myself. Takes a real man to lighten the weight and say no to bragging in front of the camera how strong you are than it does to just throw up 3 plates.
I'm about to have so many daddies in the comments of the video like, oh, I can bench it for 20. F all of you guys. My balls. I don't want to hear it. I do not want to hear it.
Rather than saying, F all of you guys, my balls, you just say, this is how you lift the weights. 135 pounds, but I made it hard. And yeah, perhaps half of you can lift more than that. I don't care. It's not my goal. And so Togi, perhaps lay off of being a puppet. You should be the puppet master and you play the strings with your followers. You control them. Don't let them control you. Notice how heavy they're lifting. Brody just did a set with 225 for 4 reps. There's no reason to train that heavy. Just because we're recording a video, it doesn't mean we need 2 plates. Why not lighten the load? 185 pounds. Let's see you guys get 15 or 20 reps. And Luke, I believe is his name, with the torn pec in the past. Why risk it? You don't need to lift all that weight. Pause the weight. When you touch and go and bounce the weight off your chest, that's when the most likely chance is that you're going to tear your pec. slowly lower the weight and pause and press it up. It's going to reduce your chance of injury.
Dumbbells, you're going so far back, but I don't know exactly what it is. But my whole life did dumbbells, and then one day I switched, never went back. Barbell for the rest of my life.
You are. I mean, barbell's kind of cooler, to be honest.
It's not about what's cooler. I know that perhaps you just go to the gym to look cool, but being able to lift the way you want to lift, that's what's cooler. If you're just putting on the weights and using a barbell because it's cooler than dumbbells, or using dumbbells because dumbbells are cooler than barbells, it ain't it. So rather than just doing what everyone wants you to do what you want to do.
How often do you train legs?
Once a month.
Togi, he trains his legs once a month. Why do you think? Because for the most part, men get away without having to show their legs. And so why would he care? Does it look like he cares? Does he look like he cares about having big legs? Most of the time he's going to walk around in pants, and so he just wants to have wide shoulders and have a good upper body. He's not a competitive bodybuilder, and so he only trains the muscles that he needs to train in order to look good on camera.
It's better that way, because then I get sore and it feels like I actually made progress.
And so he says one of the reasons is every time he trains legs, he gets sore. Well, he's only training them once a week. He says, hey, that makes it good because every time I get sore, I feel like I'm making improvements. You don't need to get sore to make improvements. You could, in fact, lift way fewer sets and do it once a week or twice a week and just go half-ass. You don't need to train to failure every time. You don't need to be sore all over every time you go to the gym to make gains. If you are in fact that sore, I believe that that is overtraining. Can you feel it a little bit the next day? I believe that's okay, depending on how frequently you're training. But don't use soreness as a guide to making gains. The more sore you are, the greater the gains. It's not true. When I'm overly sore, that is a signal to me that I went too hard. Prevent yourself from getting sore. Don't do too much volume, or perhaps you're going with too much intensity. You need to slowly progressive overload. That means train harder than last time slowly. And so if you're not sore at all, you don't feel any soreness, go harder. But if you feel soreness everywhere, you went too hard, you need to train easier than last time. And so Togi, with great genetics for quads, flexing the quads, he's clearly got great development. He's got the amazing genetics. Remember, this is an elite athlete. He had goals of making Major League Baseball. And then, of course, he got into drugs. I saw this in a video. And he decided, hey, it's not going to happen.
How many times do you train your legs?
Dude, twice a week.
Why?
Because I have to.
And so Luke says, hey, I train legs twice a week. Togi, why? Well, that's how often you're supposed to train them. You should be training each muscle twice a week. That is how you maximize gains. And so on this set, he gets 7 reps. He bounces the weight more, pushes off more quickly, and managed to get 7. I'd rather have seen him use less weight and pause and use greater time under tension.
You ever taken out glutathione? You pin that shit, and it's an antioxidant. So it's like, people take it to, if you like have liver failure, is what it's prescribed for.
And so glutathione, it's actually something that I've been using. It's prescribed to me from Transcend. If you're interested in glutathione, as he says, it's an antioxidant. Now remember, it's not going to completely cure any hangover. This is ridiculous. You can't simply drink more alcohol than last time and inject glutathione and think that you're all good. Togi, he knows this, but hey, it is something healthy, and if you're interested in getting glutathione, you can get it from Transcend. Click the link in the description. See, got a Transcend hat in the back.
But since it's so potent, you take it before you drink and you don't get hungover.
No, you can't just take it before you drink and you're not going to get hungover. If you drink too much, you're getting hungover.
Yeah, it also hurts very badly to pin. So like, it feels like you're putting like glass shards into your ass.
And so Brody's like, really? You should have said, that's cap. Togi. That's cap. And so is Brody actually natural? Looking at his physique, it's doubtful. He says he hasn't pinned before, but remember, that doesn't mean he's 100% natural. If I had to do a natty or not on Brody, based on what I see, chances are probably not natural, but I don't know. I haven't looked up his progress.
At a certain point, you can out-glutathione.
At a certain point, you can out-glutathione. You think he meant to say you can out-drink the glutathione. So at a certain point, like if you actually drink too much, you're still going to be hungover. I mean, clearly, I think everyone knew this. And so in Brody's technique, he is losing a little bit more control. I would rather him squeeze at the top.
You used to play baseball?
Yeah, I was really into it. Like I wanted to be an MLB player until I was like in 10th grade. And then I started like doing drugs and kind of like bailed on the whole thing.
You know, I wanted to make Major League Baseball. He was in the Little League World Series until he got to grade 10 and started doing drugs. YouTube, maybe don't demonetize my video when I tell people not to do drugs. YouTube, maybe think that this video is a positive video, that I'm trying to do good. And so rather than demonetizing my videos, maybe actually watch them and see the message. Just because I say the word drug in a video doesn't mean I'm promoting drugs. You get that? I make these videos and I say something like Arnold Schwarzenegger and I say his last name and I get demonetized for saying a guy's name. You know Arnold Schwarzenegger? And so I say his last name, demonetized. Do you know how much that costs Coach Greg? It's not good. I have to be so careful with the words. I say this, I say that. I talk about people that have eating problems and I say the word that they have in the video gets demonetized. So just some behind the scenes stuff. You guys have no idea how hard it is to talk about these subjects without getting demonetized.
I actually liked the Natties. I loved Lex Little. I loved Eubanks growing up. But I still didn't look like them.
And so for Togi, he aspired to look like the natural physiques, like Alex Eubank and perhaps Lex Little. And so he saw those physiques, which clearly had better physiques than him. And so what was his motivation? Well, I'm going to take steroids to look like that. I don't want to train for 10 years. I want it now. I want it in 6 months. And so even the natural influencers, even if they achieve their physiques natural, it's still encouraging people to take drugs. And so how do we win? Whether you're natural, whether you're enhanced, you're still an influence on people who perhaps have body dysmorphia and whatever, and they can't live happily in their own physiques.
Lex Little made me take steroids.
And so Lex Little made him take steroids. How? From being natural?
He was like, I've been working out for 10 years. Eubanks working out for 8 years. And I'm like, I've been working out for 1 year and I'm not gonna wait all this time. I want to look like these kids, so I'm gonna take steroids. And now I'm bigger than both of them.
And so he wanted to look like them, and now 1 year later, bigger than both of them. Dream physique. And so, hey, let's watch Togi and let's see how many young, impressionable teenagers decide to take steroids because they watched him. But remember, you remember all the bad things? Don't forget that Togi's a puppet. Do y'all want to be a puppet, letting everyone control what you do? Oh, I don't like my body. I'm going to take steroids. If you take steroids because you don't like your body, you have just been manipulated by society. You are, in fact, a puppet.
That's the gyno lighting. I can't be caught under that. We gotta go to the natural lighting.
And so even with his dream physique, he can't be caught in that gyno lighting. You know, the down lighting, he can only take his shirt off and stand in certain areas. And so despite the fact he has his dream physique can only be seen at certain times, with special lighting from certain angles. Does it really sound like a dream physique if you just can't take your shirt off at any time and be yourself? You should be able to be proud of how you look and not feel intimidated to take your shirt off.
Downlighted?
Yeah, down lighting makes the nips go crazy. You can do the flick though. Tighten them up a little bit. Play with the nips a tiny bit.
And so think of it, before taking a photo, he has to flick the nips and do the Zoolander pose.
Shane, what's your ethnicity?
Chinese.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You speak any?
Nah, I used to, and then I forgot literally all of it.
And so he forgot how to speak Chinese, yet Coach Greg can speak Chinese. Togi, perhaps you can take some lessons. We can speak Chinese together after all. Togi, did you know I had a Billy channel? Did you know I had a cookbook in Mandarin? Over 600,000 followers. Togi, please go and check it out. And my Chinese is very, very limited. Very limited. It's actually worse than my Spanish. My Spanish is better than last time.
I'd pay anything to a 5th grade teacher, honestly. Oh, Miss Shea Bauer. Oh my God, bro.
And so he'd pay anything to try out some breaking, break dancing with his grade 5 school teacher. Don't want to say what he actually wants to do with her because the video will get demonetized. But let's just say it would look something similar to Ray Gunn dancing in the sheets.
Miss Shea Bauer, I'm famous and jacked now.
I mean, imagine calling out your grade 5 school teacher and saying, I'm famous and jacked now. Do you want to get with me? He would have been 10 at the time. Yikes. And here it goes, boys. The 3-man Zoolander. You ready for it? And so let me know in the comment section, do you now understand what it's like to be controlled as a puppet? How Togi is in fact a puppet to the world and how you perhaps are also a puppet. Stop being a puppet being played by all those strings. You're letting the world control you. Take control of your life and do it now. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Please like the video if you liked it. And of course, if you're trying to stay natural, check out Geo2 Max and Turk Builder to have the best possible energy, build more muscle. And of course, the cookbooks, the training books, the coaching plans by me and my team, as well as the free diet and training program. Get the free diet and training program on the website. Also, the Harder Than Last Time clothing line. Join the 300,000 plus newsletter subscribers. And until next time, I am out.